video we'll talk about some things that are have to be made known in a more explicit way. Alright, the first thing is that during your calculation, alright, take note of your calculations of this whole chunk. Alright, there is some careless mistake over all this thing. Alright, so don't try to make things one shot. Alright, for myself lah. Okay, so try to calculate for this first, get some value. Maybe this is 30 something, and then this is like 4. So if you add up together, you get some values. Alright, so at least you will not have any careless mistake when you put in the calculator and everything. You put everything in, and you may have certain careless mistake also. So be very careful about this thing when subbing into your calculator. Alright, the next thing is the understanding of this thing, the concept of stiffness matrix, the unidirectional and the woven roving. Alright, before we go on to the later parts. Alright, so I'm trying to make the basics here kind of like a strong. Alright, so if you were to calculate for your unidirectional stiffness matrix, alright, I just want to make known is that this stiffness matrix and this stiffness matrix Qij, alright, unidirectional because you only have good strength in these directions or this directions if for this type of thing. Alright, they are all Qij ud, alright, given any of the scenario. Alright, so this is just the meaning of your stiffness matrix for your laminate. That's all. Okay, so if it's a woven robin, alright, you're gonna convert it using the equations that we have say in the previous video also, right? Using the conversion. Alright, this is the conversion equations. Alright, half Q1 unidirectional is equals to the woven robin type of thing. Okay, and therefore to visualize, alright, what we're gonna do for the woven roving is that Qij woven roving, alright, is actually having all these things. You are making things like this, and this is it. Alright, so Qij the unidirectional is only this direction. If it's a Qij woven roving is a bidirectional. It is strong in this direction, it is also strong in this direction. This is what it's trying to say. Okay, and what about the Q bar then? Alright, Q bar Ij and Qij ud, or woven the bar thing. The bar thing takes into account of certain issues. So for example, if I were to draw this, alright, this is the one direction, this is the two direction. Over here, this is the one direction, this is the two direction, right? However, if you were to stack it up all together with different laminates, alright, the axis, the global axis is always x and y. Okay, and therefore over here this is minus 45 degrees, and therefore if you were to take a look for the Q bar equation, alright, the Q bar equation is over here. Alright, the Q bar equation, you are talking about taking in the account of the angles. You see, everything is about the angles. So you are somewhat transforming, alright, or shifting the blue color one, your 1-2 direction axis to the xy direction, so that you can calculate under a xy direction load. Alright, how can the 1-2 direction take? For example, this is the 1-2 direction. Alright, so the calculation for Q bar Ij is the stiffness matrix when you apply a force in this direction x, or you apply a force in the y direction. So Qij bar is talking about when you apply x and y forces at your 1-2 directional thing. Alright, because you're arranging in the 1-2 in this 1-2 direction or in this 1-2 direction. Alright, so we are looking at the x and y forces, or x and y stiffness. S and y, when you apply a xy forces, what is the stiffness of your this configuration? This is what it's trying to say. Hopefully this is pretty clear. Alright, so having this orientation or this configuration, if you apply a x direction force, alright, what is the stiffness matrix at this particular angle? Alright, what is the stiffness matrix, or what is the stiffness level or values or whatever? Alright, so therefore this is what the purpose of Q bar is all about. Alright, be it your woven is just all this thing, adding in adding more fibers to a certain extent. Okay, so this is what it's trying to say all along, and hopefully it makes you visually clear of what exactly are all of them. So with this understanding, we know that we want to find a Q-bar woven roving. The purpose is because we are looking at the woven roving composite laminate, alright, as the face of your sandwich panel. Alright, so the faces are all highlighted while the in between is the core. Alright, so therefore we will still continue to deal with the faces, and therefore we are going to calculate the axial stiffness and the longitudinal Young modulus, where we're talking about the Young modulus E of your faces. We have to calculate the Young modulus of your faces, and this is why we need to first calculate the axial stiffness. So we shall see you in the next video to talk about both of them, alright, which is this two. Yeah.